All right, well, up here at, this is tunnel 2. Not sure what caused this. Not sure, I have no idea. But it doesn't appear to be a string line. It's like stuff just, something went off the track up there and buckled everything up. The tunnel appears to be fine. It doesn't look like there's anything stuffed in the tunnel. It's just all these, there's gondolas, center beam, not just a center beam on its side over there. Okay. The rest of the train is right there, going back towards tunnel 1. And right up there on top of the tunnel, it's a pretty popular perch. I found out about this. I got up this morning, made myself some coffee, and sat down and opened up my Facebook, and somebody took a picture from up on top about an hour and a half ago. So I thought, well, I'll jump up here and see what's going on. I don't know what the ETA for the cleanup people, Hulcher, I don't know what their ETA is, but in the meantime, I think I'm going to go get myself some breakfast because, yeah, it's that time. Okay, they are pulling. Yeah, looks like they must have some power on the other end of it. I know there is some mid-train helpers right up there. Sorry for it's early in the morning. Sorry for the harsh lighting. But yeah, they're pulling part of the train back. As I look at this right here, you can see that it looks like the first and second cars, it looks like they might be derailed. Maybe the truck's on the ground. It's really hard to see. And another thing is that I just assumed that this train was going an eastbound going up the hill, which is that way towards the tunnel. And the only reason I really speculated about that was because of the mid-train helpers. But they do put helpers in the middle of heavy trains coming down. It just sure are a lot of empty cars to have mid-train helpers going downhill. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on. I haven't talked to anybody yet. I don't know if these guys will answer any of my questions. And I came in from that way, which is back towards Bakersfield. I imagine that, as I said, they'll stage their equipment in Caliente, which is back down that way. Okay, I have come down the road about a half a mile, and at the front end of those center beams there, the train's broken apart again there. Sorry for the wiggles. There are so many flies out here, it's incredible. It's autumn, it's supposed to be cool, but it isn't. Anyway, there's the helpers, and the train's broken apart there. I talked to somebody, and they said that they said that the train was headed downhill, which would make more sense the way the train was buckled up and pulled apart up at that end. And there's one of the Hulcher people. I'm going to see if he has an ETA for the equipment. But if he's here, they're probably not far behind. But anyway, there's where they pulled the train apart there. So the power that was originally on the head end was what was pulling it down the hill that we saw earlier. All right, well, there is the head end of the train. So definitely was a westbound going downhill. And again, that makes a lot more sense the way the cars were all piled up and then broken apart in front of the mess. Pulled down the hill a little way. So there you go. I'm gonna go, as I said, get something to eat and come back when they start the cleanup and see if I can't work my way up on top of that hill again. All right, well, sorry for the wind noise. I didn't predict that. It was dead calm up here a while ago, so I didn't bring my dead cat. This is a hike to where I am, but the equipment got here right as I pulled up. I went and had some breakfast at Keene. And when I came back up, the equipment from Hulsher and another company called Joshua had just arrived. Parked over there. I got here before all these guys, so first come, first serve. See the parade of vehicles. And those, at least those two cars there are on the ground. You can see it from the other side now that the sun's in a better position. You can see it from here. There's no doubt that all they're going to do is push and pull all this stuff off to the side and get things going again. I can't remember if I said earlier, I overheard a couple of the track guys talking earlier, and they said that, I heard them saying they were going to need probably 3 or 4 panels. So once they get these cars out of the way, it's not going to take them long to get the track open again and get things running. And the head end of this train, the front part of it, that they broke off from down there, you can see now that it's gone. There are actually quite a fewer vehicles up here now than there were when I was here earlier. These, of course, people are arriving now. The track department's got their backhoe up there, and boom truck and gang truck. But before there, I think there were at least a dozen vehicles up here of, I guess, whatever managers needed to be involved. Boom! That's the name of that tune. Sliding that car out. I thought it was the box car that was making all that noise, but no. Oh! All those concrete ties in the way. More dramatic over here right now, huh? Looks like they were trying to get that flipped all the way over a while ago, and they had it about right, and it fell down again. Oh man, that's what it did a while ago. I was watching those guys unload the piece of equipment on the road. I wasn't videoing, I was just watching them, and I heard it fall. Having trouble hanging on to it, I guess. Then they said, to heck with it, we'll just push it out of the way. By golly. That car that they're working on right now is kind of wedged into the yellow car, so not sure how they're going to go about this. Rick!
You remember my name?
Rick Johnson!
How you doing?
Good. We ran into him, me and Jennifer, up here, a couple months ago. You're from Visalia, right?
Yes, sir.
All the way down from Visalia to watch this mess. I guess that's how they're going to get it out of there. Woo! They are getting that one way out of the way. Guess they didn't want that car on its side. Track guys starting to set out some concrete ties and pulling clips. Well, I looked up and noticed the boxcar that was sticking out of the tunnel disappeared into the tunnel. So they've got that part of the train out of the way. It's my understanding that there were rear DPUs on it. I don't know if that's factual. Nonetheless, they hooked something up to it because it had gone. It's a delicate ballet they have to do to get the side boom that's on the back of the left side of the car. He's got to had to start on that steep embankment over there, go through the low spot, and then he's got to go over the track. So Obviously, they want to take their time doing that. Doing all the trouble to stand that car up a while ago, and their guy just came and pushed it over. I think that guy up there just likes tearing things up. See, just over the top of this yellow spine car, there are some pretty tore up ties down there. But the tracks themselves, they actually don't look that bad. Mostly looks like just ties. I don't even know why they would need a panel, but I'm not a track guy. Just a guy with a YouTube channel who likes to speculate. Again, sorry for wind noise. I'm trying to block it with my hand, but I don't know how successful I'll be. But the breeze sure does feel good. Down there getting those cars re-railed. Ah, the sound of carnage. Looks like Progress Rail over Mojave going to have a bunch of work to do. It appears that these two cars are still coupled together, and this guy just shoved them forward. Evidently, I don't know, take the pressure off. They got people in there trying to get the couplers undone. Must have pulled the pin or whatever they call that. This thing coming out from under there. Got her done. Yeah, I have to go back on what I said a while ago. You can see where those ties are pretty beat up and the rail is pushed together. So yeah, I don't know if, I guess that would require a panel. It can certainly be lined back out, but they don't have the equipment here to do that probably. But you know me, yeah, cleanup's progressing nicely. The Holter guys have only been here for a little over 2 hours, and they've already gotten this, gotten these cars out of the way, except for this one right here. To bring the excavator in, to okay, to lift the front of it up a little bit, so it must have been digging in. Hard to see from this angle. I'm assuming that's why we did that. Guess that'll make it easier to pull. Won't be digging into the ground so much, I guess. I do know one thing. It's like when Rick was up here, we were talking about it, talking about who coordinates this and what they go through in their job briefings and whatnot. I just said, whatever they do, they know what they're doing. They're really good at it. So for all you Holter guys and Joshua guys, just know that a lot of us really appreciate your skill with this stuff. You guys are really good at this, and it's really cool to watch. Whoop! See, it's kind of climbed back up on its trucks, which were on the outside of it when it was laying sideways, but no more. All right, well, in about 2.5 hours, these guys have cleared all the derailed cars out of the way. Maintenance away is changing ties. They have got, they're still working on those, so they're not leaning over the way they were, but well on the way to getting, whoops, those cars re-railed. Oh no! They pushed it over. It's that bully on the loader. I guess they just pushed it over to get it out of that situation they were in down there. Or stood it up. And it's probably more stable overnight or for long term lying on its side. Again, you know me. Walk back down here towards the truck and see that these cars are all re-railed. I don't think that truck was ever off. I think it was those two right there. Sitting here in the truck, cooling off and letting my phone charge, and they're bringing in ballast. They've had two 40-foot dumps come in already. This one going by right there is the 5th dump truck in this parade. There's 6. So yeah, 7 dump trucks here plus the 2 40-footers. So they are staging everything up for repair. I can't imagine. This should probably be open tonight sometime. I don't know. I'm gonna say by 8:30 tonight. That's my prediction. See how close I came. They got these 3 cars here all situated while I was in there trying to let my phone charge. Still didn't charge very much, but it's enough to get some stuff done. The rest of what I'm going to do today. And they pushed these 3 cars forward, pushed or pulled, I don't know, I wasn't watching. And now they're working on this car. And I didn't realize that so many of these cars had trucks on the ground. When I drove down below a little ways, because I thought this train was going to probably leave, but then I noticed that there was still a lot of equipment doing work up here. So this one here, when I was down below, I could see that the truck on this end was on the ground. They've got it re-railed. It still looks like it's leaning in quite a bit, so I don't know what they're doing. They still have it hooked up to one of the both the side booms. I know nothing about how these things are put together underneath, so I don't know what they're doing. And then that one up there, that rear truck of that, where that loader is, that truck is also on the ground. So they're trying to get that straightened out. Getting serious about that. Something's broken under there. Or... You know me, I'll just speculate. I've been doing a lot of that today. Well, guess whatever they were doing, they got fixed. Oh, didn't couple up. And these guys down here, it looks like that truck is back on the rail. That is the last piece of the last side boom to leave get out of here. They got all that done. And this train is backing up, the couple here. Another stupendous job that these gentlemen have done. We are out of here. Eyewitness News just showed up, Johnny on the spot. But you know what? They don't really have any way of knowing this stuff's going on. One of their people probably saw one of my posts on Facebook or somebody else's and said, hey, get out there and get some pictures or some footage. Hallelujah. Just releasing the brakes. Didn't bring my radio with me, but he's got the Fred down there, the inter-train device. I'll put that on. And it does not look like they're going to put any panels in. They've got the gaugers out there. So they'll replace the ties, get the gauge right. They'll probably just leave like a 10-mile-an-hour slow order, maybe even slower than that on here. They've got ballast they'll be dumping. And I don't know, maybe they'll bring a tampering regulator in tonight. They keep one up at a set of those up at Woodford. But I'm not going to stick around for that. see they're making progress. Looks like they've got 10, 12 more ties to install and get everything cinched down, gauged. All right. And he is on the move. Well, it is 3:35. My prediction, did I say 8 or 8:30? I can't remember. But I think that's probably going to be just about right. That may even have been a little conservative. Another truckload of ties coming in. Certainly don't think they're going to need that many tonight, but I'm just a signal guy. And oftentimes, when discussing things that the other departments do, I end up back out here with my orange shirt. And you all know what that means. All right. These guys were sitting here for quite a while. The in-the-train device wasn't flashing or something. Wasn't flashing, I noticed, and the guy kept looking at it. So I guess they got whatever problem. Maybe they couldn't get the air right or something. All right. Up here are the URLs to my PayPal and my Patreon. If you can help the channel out that way, I'd sure appreciate it. All right, well, that will conclude my coverage of the derailment at Tunnel 2. As I said, they're still doing track work here. I've been out here for 8 hours. I'm gonna go home and eat something. But anyway, derailments aren't good for anybody except my channel. They do tend to boost up the views, but nevertheless, they're not good for anybody. People have a tendency to say, oh, the derailments are happening every week on Tehachapi. That's not true. There were 3 derailments up here in 2023, and I think this is only the second one this year. That's not bad for an average of 10,000 trains a year. There are really no more derailments today than there ever have been. I know that a lot of people argue with me. Whatever. I have literally, and I've said this before, literally lost count of the number of derailments I worked over my career. And I turned down many, many of them, and a lot of them didn't happen on my territory, which for half my career didn't include Tehachapi. So I worked a lot of them up the valley too. On straight track, they happen. But anyway, keep shooting me the ideas. Drop me comments below. Shoot me an email at motorpoet59@gmail.com. Like, share, subscribe, click on the bell if you want to be notified of future content, and we'll see you all later.